Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the No BS Human Design Podcast. Today is going to look a little bit different because for the year and a half, oh my gosh, has it been 2 years? 2 years that I've had this podcast, I have never ever put the visual component of it anywhere. And a couple months ago, I was in the shower where all our best downloads happen, right? And it out of nowhere came to me, put the podcast on YouTube. I'm like, I don't want to do that. And then I realized after talking to my assistant and my editor how easy it would be to also just upload things to YouTube. That way people have a visual component. If I'm talking about something within a chart, I can pull up the chart and you can see it, right? So this is really helpful for the line of work that I am in, because if we're talking about something specific on the chart, you can hop over to the YouTube and you can actually see it as if you're in a workshop with me. So today is our first ever episode that is going to be on the podcast and on YouTube. So we're going to keep the link to the YouTube in the show notes below. If at any point you want to hop over and watch it on that, awesome. Go ahead and meet us there. And we're kicking it off with a back to basics. I was going to say sequel. No, back to basics sequence. Why can't I think of the word right now? Whatever. Back to basics theme is what we're going with. So we're going to do a few episodes on each type, and then we'll do a back to basics for other parts within the human design system, probably authority and profile and all the good juicy stuff. So that if you are brand new here, you can also get a visual back to basics here instead of going all the way back in the records of the podcast. Today, we're starting off with the Manifestor type. If you don't know what your human design is, you can grab your free chart, download it right here in the show notes. Go to adrianakeefe.com/get your chart. And all you need is your birth time. If you don't have your birth time, shoot me a message on Instagram, also linked below. And then I can guide you into a couple of ways of finding it. All right. So, Manifestors, we ready to dive in? Manifestor 101. Okay. I'm a big fan of manifestors. My daughter's a manifester. My best friend is a manifester. And I'm a manifesting generator. So I feel like on some level, I really get them. If you are a manifester, you have a motor as in like the motor of a car. We have different centers of our body graph that give us energy, that give us fuel. So if you're a manifester, you have a motor that's connected to the throat and no defined sacral center. Defined sacral centers are for generator types. So if you don't have that and you have a motor connected to the throat, you are a manifester. You are someone who is here to get things started. You could be looked at as a fire starter, sparking movement in other people. You have this innate creative urge that you're here to follow. And I'm actually going to back that up, and I'm not going to specifically say creative urge. It's these urges that you receive, again, seemingly from out of nowhere sometimes, to do things. And you might not really relate to the word creative, so take that part out. It doesn't necessarily mean creativity. It means urges to follow things, little nudges, little intuition, instinctual voices, if you will. You are guided by an internal connection to God, universe, source, sky daddy, whatever it is that you feel connected to up there, if anything at all. If you're new here, you probably don't feel connected to anything at all, and that's okay too. You are trailblazers, trendsetters, and the only type that can initiate without waiting for something external of you to respond to. So basically, whatever you feel, you can start to create. Those downloads that you receive about going and starting something, these urges that you just want to go and do something, go and do them. My 9-year-old is an emotional manifester, and you see this play out with her siblings so much. My 4-year-old's a generator, and my 2-year-old is a manifesting generator. So my 9-year-old manifester will literally initiate every game they play, everything. She is the leader. She tells them exactly what to do, where to be, and then they go and they follow that. They do whatever it is that she wants them to do. at times I'm kind of like, all right, let them have a little bit of the way, right? But that's her natural urge. She's naturally going to kick start people into movement, into action, inspiring people into action. So if that doesn't resonate with you, if being a manifester in general just like doesn't resonate with you because there's a lot of talk out there about, being highly creative and a visionary and here to make like this big impact, let's dial it back a little bit. Manifestors are someone who regularly receive urges to do the things that can seemingly come out of nowhere. So the highly creative, high impact, high visionary people, they absolutely can be manifestors. And we tend to see that in the other pieces of their chart, the other gifts of their chart, but that's not specifically a manifestor thing. You just tend to notice these high impact people being manifestors because they're highly visual, like they're on social media, they're out there talking about things, but there are plenty of manifestors who are more behind the scenes, who work a corporate job, who do quote normal jobs, and their gifts come through within their everyday life. So if you don't feel like you resonate to the big vision that a lot of people talk about with manifestors, you don't have to. That's not necessarily a manifestor thing. Okay, just putting that out there. But really following your spontaneous urges, that's what you're designed to do, doing and being exactly what you want, what comes through you, what channels into you, what downloads into you, and becoming unapologetic about what you want is what magnetizes you, and going after it, going after the things that make you a little nervous to go after. That is the energy that the world needs, because your energy is naturally going to bring, or I should say, your downloads, your ideas, your creative urges, your non-creative urges are naturally bringing a new energy into the world that is needed. You're here to start those fires, to spark interest, to spark movement, to get something going that is new, inspiring anyone and everyone to take action. And you are in your most magnetic state when you are able to finally release and lean into whatever urges you have, whatever it is that you feel like you want to immerse yourself in. It's not going to be all the time. You're going to have these periods of rest, and then allowing yourself to jump and dive back into those periods of excitement and being obsessed with something without slowing down is a part of your gift. That's a part of your magic. So when you're in that momentum, let yourself ride that wave. Let yourself be in that wave. Be fully immersed in it. Put your head down into it. Don't get sidetracked. I know it's easier said than done, but let yourself just keep going and following that until it doesn't feel good anymore. That's a big part of where your magic and your magnetism comes in. So, to recap, initiation is your way, whether it's initiating activity in someone else or in yourself. It's the movement that it starts. It's inspiring people into action, inspiring yourself into action, inspiring a new energy to come into the world. The struggle that, if you're a manifesting generator and you're listening to this, you can definitely resonate with this too. The struggle can be found with completing things, because you might have a million and one ideas, or you start running after one idea and then another one comes in and then another one comes in, and then you get bored of that first one or the first three, and then you're on to the next thing, right? And that is totally normal. That is very much what you're designed to do. So if you've ever felt like you're a quitter, like you just can't stick with anything, please understand that is your natural energy. When you find something that's worth sticking to, then you can practice whatever feels good for sticking to it, whether it's doing it yourself and completing it yourself, if that actually feels good, or delegating to other people. If you want to think about how the human design system, how our population as a whole is designed, we have the manifestors who start things. We have the generators and the manifesting generators, who are the builders and the expanders. And then we have the projectors, who are here to tweak what the manifestor started and the generator types built. And then we have the reflectors, who reflect it all back to us. So if you want to get like real old school and technical, sorry, I'm getting over a cold, so my throat is a little ugh. So if you want to get like old school and think about it that way, manifestors are here to pass the baton onto someone else after they've started that initiation and activating movement in other people. Like I mentioned earlier, you do have high energy that runs in cycles. So when you're on, you can feel like you are on. And then you need a break. You need cycles of rest. And I've often been asked, how long is this cycle of rest? And it kills me when I hear them say other people, other educators within human design have told them an exact period of time, because I think that's bullshit. Who are they to tell you how that timeline works? We don't know if you're a mom or a parent. We don't know if you're working 4 jobs right now. The timeline of how long you're on and then how long you're off is completely up to your own unique energy. And just leaning into whatever your energy is asking of you, not what people say is normal, is one of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself. What else about your energy? You're very goal and inward focused. Again, this has to do with the channeling of energy. A lot of people can see you as a lone wolf at times, or maybe you feel like a lone wolf a lot of your life, or like you're selfish and just doing your own thing, like you work too fast and maybe seen as impatient. That is literally what you're designed to be doing. You're designed to be like in your bubble, following the creative urges that come up for you and pushing everything else aside, head down, getting this done, being the lone wolf, if that's what feels right for you, to get the necessary steps going. That's exactly what you're designed to do. So if that resonates with you, I want you to understand that that's perfectly acceptable. Acceptable is not the right word. Perfectly perfect for your energy and how you work. You likely work best when you're left on your own to just like get immersed in something and just do the thing. And keep in mind, you do work faster than most. So patience with other people is going to be a key here for you. Overall, you need independence, you need autonomy, you need to feel like you have the freedom to follow those urges and to follow whatever excites you that you want to be immersed in, and just let yourself be immersed in them until your energy feels like it's all done. It's tired of that. The aura of a manifestor is called a closed aura. And this is one that's actually, it's a really big aura. People know you're there. When you're around, people know you're there. And it can feel provoking to other people. It can provoke challenge in them. And this closed aura is literally designed in order for you to find the people who really vibe with you and to find the people who really don't vibe with you. Because that provoking challenge in others is going to create this movement. It's going to create this wave of your energy. And when the people who are your people feel that provoking energy, feel that like challenge, and they're your people, they're like totally digging what it is that you're putting out there, you're going to change their lives. And they're going to continue to change other people's lives based on the work that you are doing. So if you're a manifester and you've ever found that there were just certain groups of people you couldn't get along with, or people found it difficult to approach you, or whatever feels like it resonates with you, just understand that that's exactly how your energy is designed, because you're here to bring a new energy into the world, to provoke shit, right? And you can't make new out of something that people are comfortable with and used to. So having that closed aura really just allows you to stay in your zone, in your channeling, in your urges, and not be distracted by everything else in the world. I hope that makes sense. But you are here overall to inspire a specific group of people, and everyone else, you can just be like, go fuck yourselves. Don't have to worry about everyone else. Okay. All right. So within each type within human design, there is something called your strategy. And your strategy is the way that you are designed to flow with the world around you. Think flow instead of force. Think more ease, energetic alignment. And for a manifester, don't shoot the messenger. It's called informing. And this means to inform other people before taking action. Other people who are going to be, what's the word? Why are words so hard for me right now? Affected. There we go. Affected by the decision that you're making. It has nothing to do with asking permission. That would literally like kill most manifestors. They would be like, nope, I'm already done with this human design thing. But it's about creating that energetic alignment where people at least know what you're doing. Remember, you work faster. You just naturally do things without telling people, most likely, because especially in our society, in the past, people haven't been supportive of you. People have been telling you to dim your light. People have been telling you to slow down. And so at some point, you may have either gone to people pleasing and gone that way, or the exact opposite way and been like, fuck everyone, I'm doing my own thing and I'm never, ever talking to anyone else about it. That's what I tend to see. One or two of those ends of the spectrums. And my human design mentor says this, I think, so beautifully. Informing is declaring the direction of your energy. Where are you going to be putting your energy? Let other people who are going to be affected by that move know. And then that's it. It doesn't matter how they receive it, as long as you are comfortable in saying that the way you presented it was a healthy communicative way. So, again, not asking permission. Okay. And I also find that manifestors and manifesting generators tend to like being informed in the opposite way too. I would say maybe like 80% of the time. Not every manifestor or Manny Gen has said this, but a lot of them have said that they also feel the need to stay informed by other people. They like the acknowledgement that someone else's decisions are also impacting them. So it can go both ways, just for funsies. Take a look at that in your life and see if it resonates. Now we have the not self theme and the signature. The not self theme is like your red flag. This is your little guy that's like, hey, I'm out of alignment here. Something's off here. How can we redirect? How can we stop and reassess? For a manifestor, the not self theme is anger. And most of the time, if you're a manifestor and you're listening to this right now, you're like, well, that hits home. That resonates. And the anger, the feeling of anger can come from either when you're operating from the mind and or fear, when you have an urge to do something and a flow that's interrupted. If you're a manifesting generator, you can feel this as well. I do. If I'm writing like in a creative flow of like an email or a program and someone comes into my office, just total breakdown. I get so angry. And I used to wonder, like, what's wrong with me? This feels like the most ridiculous response to someone just walking in my door, but it's because that flow was instantly shut off. And that leads to anger. You can feel the sense of anger when you're being told what to do or how to act. But really, this theme of anger, this feeling is here for a purpose, right? It's here to help you. So what is that purpose? Your anger can be a powerful force for change. So learn how to use it in a healthy way, how to direct it in a healthy way. And then we have the signature. So if the not self theme is like your red flag, the signature theme is your aligned self. And for a manifestor, it's a feeling of peace. What's so interesting is I've actually worked with a lot of manifestor clients. They tend, I don't know if it's because I'm a manifesting generator, so I tend to just get them and their energy. But even before they're that knowledgeable about human design, our first session, I'll ask, what is it that you're looking to get out of this? And I swear every time there is a mention of the word peace. whether it's peace in their everyday life, inner peace, soul peace, always comes up. And they didn't even know that that's their signature theme. So this sense of peace comes when you're operating from alignment. You might be driven to create peaceful relationships and environments, and you're overall seeking the feeling of peace. And when you feel that, it can be life-changing. And know that that's your key of not enlightenment, key of aligned energy, alignment. I mean, maybe enlightenment too. At some point, you're going to get there, right? So, all right. Now, what I talked about earlier with being a manifester, obviously there's a gift, a light, and a shadow to everything in life. That's duality. We would not exist in any sort of playing with emotions and feelings without duality, a light and a shadow. So for manifestors, sorry, this cold is kicking my butt. My throat is very ick right now. So for manifestors, the shadow side, which is likely coming from conditioning, coming from society, environment, family, caregivers who not necessarily dimmed you on purpose, but were just, that was the society we were raised in, unfortunately, was that you can't stick out. You have to sit down, shut up, especially as a woman, right? So the conditioning that we've been through in life can lead to these shadow aspects, these shadow selves. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with you if you resonate with any of what I'm about to say. This is simply what I'm here to help you with, okay? Take a minute there. There's nothing wrong with you, all right? So for manifestors, I've seen shadow sides of feeling selfish, feeling like a quitter, feeling like you're too much, the too much piece. That's probably why I attract a lot of manifestors, because that's my story, the feeling like too much and a quitter. Suppressing your powerful energy and voice, people pleasing. Remember, I talked about the other end of that spectrum, or shutting down and pushing people away completely and not asking for support, right? Because you may have been raised in an environment that was like, why are you doing that? Why are you going off and doing your own thing? Why are you so angry? Why do you start a million things and stop a million things? Why can't you be more patient? All of this tells our little younger version of us brains that it's not safe to be ourselves. And I'm here to tell you it is safe to be yourself. It is most definitely safe here in my world with me. So if you don't feel safe in your environment, come into my world. I'm opening my arms to you. Reach out to me. I will happily take you into my world, because you are designed on purpose and for a purpose. And the more that you can lean into your own natural gifts, your natural urges, the things that you get excited about, the things that you want to talk about, the things you want to do, the better the entire planet is. Literally, this is all a coexistence. We are all one, and we work together as one with different jobs, but one. So if you resonate with any of that, start leaning into this. Start practicing it. See what you can do. See the magnetism you call in and you become when you start just doing what's absolutely natural and authentic for yourself. Letting go of anything anyone else says. Just trusting that you're here to inspire other people into action. You're here to take action. You're here to start and stop a fuck ton of stuff and just be your unapologetic self. Lean into your momentum, lean into what excites you, and let yourself be and let yourself enjoy. You are so loved and you're so safe, especially here in my community. So lean into it. Shoot me a message over on Instagram at Audrey Keefe. I'd love to hear what resonates or what doesn't resonate, because don't worry, I got a whole process for that too, with all of this information. And if you are not a manifester, or you are a manifester and you have a manifester friend who could really benefit from this, maybe you don't know that they're a manifester for sure, but you're like, this seems an awful lot like my friend. You could literally change their life by sending it to them. So send this to them, change their life, and then shoot me a message with anything and everything that you took away from this. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.